Listen, I know, you've been sold a bill of goods, sold a gigantic bill of goods that there's some stuff that's coming in the future, and this stuff is the best stuff, and this is the stuff we need. And I got news for you. It's not. Let's go. What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru, and listen, today I want to talk about the update we really need. I know that there's been in the past, we've been told, like, we gotta have Brewster, and we gotta have coffee, and we gotta have this, and that, and the other, and all. No. There's one thing that seems to be a disconnect between what Nintendo is trying to do and what they are actually giving us. It feels like since the beginning of this game, they've pushed the whole multiplayer narrative. I mean, they've basically told you to be able to do certain things, you have to have Nintendo Online, right? Can't go visit friends unless you have Nintendo Online. You can't back up your Switch and your island unless you have Nintendo Online. And then they turn around and they go like, hey, you can now go visit people's islands, but there's such a lack of things to do when you go to people's islands. Like, okay, I get the fact of, like, we were happy when you put in the checklist of things, like you can't do this, that, and the other unless you're best friends. Cool. We're good with that. We're very good with that. I think there's not a person who played Animal Crossing in the past and will play Animal Crossing in this version of New Horizons that don't feel like that's a good thing. To get the whole, gotta be a best friend in order to shovel stuff up and all that, that's all well and good. But here's the problem. They've taken that and they've dumbed this game down so bad, it's not even funny. It just doesn't make sense to me why there's such a lack of ability that we can do when we go to people's islands. And it's not even just the fact of you going to an island, you can't do things. When people come to your island, it makes you not want to have people at your island. I can't decorate, I can't donate bugs, I can't donate fish, I can't change my clothes if I want to. There are so many things that just are so, to me, lackluster in this game when it comes to the multiplayer side of things. I literally can't move something, I can't slide something if there's someone on my island. I can't do anything. And it just really is obnoxious to a very high degree, in my opinion. On top of that, you would think that, like, there would be other things to do. Like, if you bring your friends, you want to be able to play games, you want to be able to do things. You can't. The only thing you can do is trade items. I can't put nothing out. I can't do anything. This is now such a calling as compared to New Leaf. New Leaf, there was so much to do. In terms of, you know, if you went to Tortimer's Island, you could play a multitude of games. I think that when they took some of the stuff from Tortimer's Island in the past and moved it over to New Horizons as the new tournaments, you know, in the past, you would go to the island, and this tournament we have now where you go out and you catch fish within a 3-minute period and you bring them back, and then you earn points. That was the tournaments, or that was some of the multiplayer games that were on Tortimer's Island in New Leaf. The same thing with the bug catching. You catch bugs, you take them to Tortimer after the time limit was up, and then he would give you prizes, like coins, that you could then go back to the island gift shop and buy rare items that you couldn't buy on your island. It's not even that. It's the fact of, like, with Tortimer's Island in the past, you could also go just randomly out there and meet multiple random people and play games with. They have scrubbed this game down so much on the multiplayer side that I feel like they need an overhaul. Absolute overhaul in order to make this game fun when you bring friends to your island. You know, the chat is basically, you know, the voice chat is locked behind a cell phone, which I could just pick my phone up and call the people to begin with. But whatever, we're going to go that route. And then, like, there's such a lack. You know, I like the fact that they opened up the cell phone now that, like, you could do all your emotes and stuff through the cell phone app, through Nook Link. That's fine. That's all well and good. But at the end of the day, like, when I look at what I can do, what I can't do, There is more I can't do than I can do when I have people come over to my island. And I just think that this needs to get fixed. It really does. I think that Nintendo is just such... They've completely dropped the ball when it comes to this game. And this is the game that I felt like, oh my god, we're going to have so much multiplayer stuff to do, that if it isn't for people creating games, if it isn't for people creating musical chairs or things like that, like an island like Crunchy Island gets made because there's no multiplayer stuff. The hype around an island like Crunchy Island and people going to his dream address, going to Sam and Lauren's dream address, has everything to do with the fact of, like, there's not much to do. So let's go do this instead. I just think that we need something similar to Tortimer's Island brought back. You know, I don't know exactly what they do. I mean, look, I know exactly what they got to do. They got to create an island called Tortimer's Island and send people there as groups. Not only that, like, you could bring your friends over, right, to your town, and then you could all leave together and go to Tortimer's Island in New Leaf. Why not allow the same thing? Like, it just doesn't compute for me. I just don't get what is happening. I don't understand why it is such a lack of things to do in this game, in this island, on this multiplayer side of things. Nintendo could absolutely add things in. Give us like soccer balls that we can kick around. You give us nets or goals or whatever you want to call it, you know, depending on what part of the world you're from. And we can't even kick a ball around. You could bounce the ball in place, but you can't kick the ball around. You could have such amazing, fun games. People could be literally just spending a lot of time doing this together. The other thing that I would love to see is if you allow me to be a best friend and dig up things, I would love to be able to grant my friends a special permit to terraform. The reason being is this. If I'm not that great at terraforming, and I want to allow my friend to come to my island and terraform with me, or teach me how to terraform, or show me some tips that they've picked up and how they've been good, or, man, if you got a big area to terraform, it would be nice if I could get a group of friends to come over and help me raise this area that's going to be a big thing, because, listen, it is a nightmare to sit there. It is so tedious to fill in big areas or tear down big areas. So I just think that, like, that should be another step that I think would be a lot of fun across the board. I get the reason why you don't want people to pick up items if they're out, but I don't even really get that either. Like, if it's my item and I want to pick it up and remove it, I should be able to pick it up and remove it. It just doesn't make sense to me why we can't do these things. We can't change our clothes. That's mind-blowing to me. When you figure, like, in you know, when you figure in New Leaf and every other Animal Crossing game, you could always, like, put items out, maneuver, go change my clothes. I can go get into my wardrobe and change my clothes. I don't understand where there's an issue, what exactly is happening, but this stuff is just minute stuff that really, to me, needs to be changed. And these are the updates. This is the update we need. There are people clamoring for Brewster. I love Brewster just as much as the next guy. But I'm going to be honest with you. Brewster's update is not going to be the greatest thing that you guys all want. You're going to want something that's tangible, that's just
meaty. Just something that will... I shouldn't use meaty in that. Something big. Meaty, big. You just want something that has a lot to do, okay? We're going to leave it there. You want something that has a lot to do.
In this multiplayer scheme, you want Nintendo to bring you something that's going to bring content that you and your friends can enjoy. That's the whole gist of this online. That's the whole gist of having multiplayer. Is to be able to do stuff and hang out with your friends and have a good, fun time. But I feel like it is so lacking in this game this time. And that is not good. To me. To my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way in left field on this. Who knows? But let me know what you guys think. Are you a big fan, a proponent of an update that is a multiplayer, that gives us true multiplayer and the ability to play? Let me know some of your ideas, what you guys would like down below. Remember, follow me, Instagram, Twitter, @Nintendo Gurus. Remember, we stream 3 to 4 times a week over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nintendo Gurus. Go over there, check us out. That is all. Peace out, Preston.